Hello students. This video lecture is an initiative taken by Shet Vidya Mandir Junior College of Commerce and Science. This video lecture is for 12th standard students. Subject is Secretarial Practice and our today's topic is Importance of Corporate Finance. In the previous video lecture, we have seen corporate finance and various aspects of corporate finance. And we have learned that as a finance manager, we need to choose a proper source of finance, whether it be a owned fund that is through equity shares or preference shares, or whether to raise capital through borrowed funds that was debentures, bonds, public deposits, etc. Once the funds has been raised, finance manager has to decide what proportion of the capital should be invested in fixed assets of the company and what proportion of capital should be invested in working capital of the company. Today we will see importance of corporate finance. As we know that corporate finance is of two terms, corporate and finance. Corporate means big firms and finance means money and management of money. Why the management of money is so important? Our Maharashtra Board textbook has covered 10 points to explain the importance of finance. These are the following 10 points which are given in your textbook. So let's start with our first point. In every business and firm, making decision is a very important part as it has an impact on the overall objectives of the firm. Majority decisions in an organization or in a firm depends upon the availability of their funds. As said in the previous video lecture, one wrong decision may lead to many losses. Here, the finance manager comes up with many plans and policies. But to select a proper policy is very important as it will have an impact on the profitability of the firm. And therefore, finance is required in the process of decision making. Our second point is helps in raising capital for a project. As to survive in a market, the firm, the business has to come up with new ideas and new ventures. And to execute those new ideas and new ventures, the firm requires funds. And these funds can be raised by issuing shares, debentures, bonds, or even by taking loan from the banks. Our next point is helps in research and development. Availability of finance enables the firm to spend more on research and development. The firm can research on its existing and or old product and develop it, upgrade it so as to satisfy the existing customers and to attract more customers in the market. But to do so, the company needs a good finance to research on the existing product. As research and development is a long time process, it takes times to research and develop a product. Our next point is helps in smooth running of business firm. You can also say efficiency in business operation. Every business firm needs efficiency in business operation. For that, they have to pay the salary of the time to the employees so that they can work with more motivation. And there are many more expenses for which finance is required. It can be required for continuous sales promotion, for continuous purchase of raw material, etc. This finally leads to increase in overall efficiency and a smooth flow of business operations. Our next point is brings coordination between various activities. In the functional management of business and funds, there are many more departments like production department, sales department, finance department. In order to use this fund effectively and efficiently, there should be no loss and wastages of finance. For that, these departments should be coordinated with each other. If the finance department fails to coordinate with other departments of the firm, then it may lead to confusion and chaos in the management, which will definitely affect the profits of the firm and the overall objectives of the firm. As the example given in your textbook, if the finance department does not provide adequate funds to the production department for the purchase of raw materials and other overheads, there will be a low production, and it will also affect the sales department and the promotion department too. Our next point is replace old assets. There are many fixed assets in the company which have been purchased for long term use, and mainly the machinery as it performs the production activity. As the time passes, the machinery, the life of the machinery, it also depreciates. And at the same time, the performance of the machinery decreases and it becomes outdated. So, to replace this outdated machinery, a firm needs a good finance. Our next point is promotes expansion and diversification. A growing enterprise or a business needs more funds for its expansion purpose. Expansion is a stage where the business reaches the point of growth and look for additional options to generate more funds. And diversification means changing the line of the business or the line of the product. For expansion and diversification, a firm requires a huge capital so as to purchase good machineries, modern and advanced technology machineries. Managing risk. Every business will have some or the other risk. The intensity of the risk can be minimized, but we cannot avoid or cannot ignore those risks. There are several such risks which a firm can manage if they have a proper finance. The risks can be due to change in production method, sudden fall in sales, loss due to natural calamities, etc. These risks can't be controlled, but we can create measures to control it through a strong finance. Our next point is payment of dividend and interest. A firm collects a capital or raises the funds from investors by issuing them shares or debentures or by taking loan from banks. As these investors, they expect a returns on their investment, and the firm has to pay them dividend and interest on time. Even for that, the finance is required. Our last point is payment of taxes and fees. It is the responsibility of every firm to pay the taxes to its government, as it is also a social responsibility. Similarly, for various filing and documentation process, the big firms, joint stock company, have to pay fees and charges to the respective authorities like registrar of companies. Therefore, finance is required for paying these taxes and fees.